Well, it is Friday and I am back in the office. It was a very, very busy week. I was in and out of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Yesterday, I was in 4 different counties in one day. I went from Cape May County to Atlantic County to all the way to Carbon County, Pennsylvania. And then I went back into New Jersey into Gloucester County, New Jersey to finish off the day. This morning, I was in Philadelphia representing a client at a preliminary hearing, and that went very well. As I always discussed in our blog articles and in my books, preliminary hearing is not a trial. It is the initial hearing for the Commonwealth in Pennsylvania to put on its initial evidence. We don't have that process in New Jersey. There is the indictment process in New Jersey. Pennsylvania is a little different with the preliminary hearing process. But they're very similar. The only difference with the two systems is that a grand jury, the attorney is not present at a state grand jury and has no opportunity to cross-examine witnesses. It is simply the prosecution presenting a case to citizens of that particular county, and in most situations, they are indicted. In Pennsylvania, we have the preliminary hearing system, and it's before a lower court judge. And the judge determines after a testimony of usually the key witness whether or not the case should be held for trial. So that's what we did today. Did come out with our weekly e-update. We found out there were 3,000 of our current and former clients addressing heavily the issue of probable cause, especially when it comes to vehicle searches. The majority of our criminal cases do come in through vehicle stops where the police officer or other law enforcement finds some type of contraband, whether it be drugs or a firearm, or in the cases of possibly both. Or we also have the issue of probable cause when it comes to DUIs in Pennsylvania and DWI in New Jersey. It is a very, very important issue. We focus heavily on it. We've also put out a lot of content with regards to searches in schools. I know it's always a hot topic in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, but if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey. It is Friday. I know that there's been a lot of press and a lot of talk about the Gabby Petito case. They did apparently confirm that they have found the remains of Brian Laundrie, who was I guess, key suspect, if we just say it now, in the case. He is deceased. I know that both families have retained lawyers. I really don't know why, with all respect to Gabby Petito's family. I don't know why a lawyer would be retained for them. I know obviously they lost their daughter, but what do you need an attorney for to address really anything? Just no comment. I don't know why either they or the Laundries are making any statements in this case. I can't imagine losing a child, but I don't know why any attorney is speaking on behalf of either family. I think the family should just, if they are going to retain a lawyer, the lawyer should just be stating no comment, and that's it. And the only reason why you would retain a lawyer is if you believe that you need to, other than that, to make a statement of some sort. I think the Laundrie's attorney is speaking way too much. Mr. Bertolino, I don't know him, but I don't know why he continues to make statements on news media outlets when they can pick apart everything that he says, what the family hopes to gain. Obviously, for some reason, they're looking at his parents as possible being involved, but I don't know how they could even establish that the parents were even involved in the case. Number one, the key suspect is now deceased, so any evidence that they could have obtained from him is obviously not going to happen. So there are no witnesses to anything in this case, and even if they find some evidence that the family had contact with Brian Laundrie, so what? I don't see a prosecutor's office pursuing the case. What reason? It was their son. He's dead. It looks like however he died, which we don't even know yet. It looks like it wasn't a very pleasant death. They found him deceased, and they found remains apparently bones. So, I mean, however he died, it doesn't appear to be anything good came of him. Either it was a suicide of some sort, and his body was there, and whatever scavenger animals took him apart. Or I don't mean to be morbid or gruesome here, but that's what happened. It sounds like, and we'll know ultimately how he died. I guess they will try to put it together as far as how he met his end. But again, I don't know why lawyers are even speaking in the case. They just don't. I think it's a bad move. If I was advising the families, my advice very simply would be say nothing. Just like if you're being accused of a crime, you never gain anything by making statements to police unless, and maybe this is something that we're not aware of, some type of deal was already made with the Laundries, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, that's the only time that I would advise a client to speak, and even those very, very, very rare cases, whatever we're going to say, I'm going to vet it first, and we're going to go through it, and I'm going to have an agreement in writing from the prosecutor's office with regards to what we're promised and what we would receive with regards to that. And that's a proffer, which we do in some cases. But again, these are all situations that if you think you need a lawyer, that's perfectly fine to consult a lawyer. But I think in those situations, the best thing that your lawyer can do for you is say nothing and advise you to say nothing, and kind of give the, I hate to equate it to sports, but the Bill Belichick type of response. Quick answers, one-word answers, very short answers, very direct answers that don't leave a lot of room for follow-up questions. And I think he is a master of that. And one of the things that I think frustrates reporters, which I think is a great thing that he has developed. Obviously, he's earned that, but I think he gets more respect for that because they at least know where he's going with the questions, and where you have perhaps younger coaches or less experienced coaches giving these long answers, and really just gets them into trouble because the reporters will keep asking questions that will ultimately trap you, and law enforcement will do the same thing. So once again, if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is the weekend. Please don't drink or drive. Please enjoy it responsibly. If you are stopped for suspicion of DUI, do not refuse the chemical test, but do not give consent to search your vehicle or your person. It will never help your case. Do not make any statements other than giving your license or registration. Again, the less you say is always better when it comes to criminal and non-criminal cases. You will never gain anything by giving more information. I can't stress that enough. Any police officer or even another lawyer who's going to help your case is completely 100% wrong. So once again, 215-755-9000 Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey. Have a great Friday, and I will talk to you all very soon.